Hi guys, today we're going to be speaking about life in Russia after sanctions 2025. I did same kind of video 2 years ago in 2023 when I just arrived to Russia after my long-term immigration, and I did same video 1 year ago in summer 2024, and 1 year later I'm still living here in Russia because I am Russian citizen. So in today's video I want to share my thoughts, my opinions about how it really feels to live in Russia today. So stay tuned guys, and it's going to be interesting.
Let's turn to the European Union because they have agreed more sanctions against Russia.
This is one of the toughest sanctions packages that the EU has approved.
Today I'm filming at such a cool place. Long time wanted to visit this big statue. Look how big it is, guys. It's original USSR sign, and it says here SSSR оплот мира. It may look like I'm not in Moscow at the moment, but actually it's the heart of Moscow. It's not far from a Gorky Park. This park called Museon. Recently I watched a vlog from the famous vlogger traveling to Russia, and
this is probably the most unsure I've ever been going to a country, but once again guys, I have to preach what I teach, and that is that to understand the country you have to travel through it, and so we're going to see what the real Russia is like.
From the Western world it feels like you have guys a lot of emotions about like Russia is very closed, strict, scary country. It's like almost every person who want to visit Russia or go into Russia with these thoughts of being like terrified to visit us. That's why I have inspiration to make this video. Let's speak about our first topic. Let's speak about traveling to Russia, foreigners in Russia. So it's really true that if you will be coming to Russia, probably you will be detained in the airport. This is a real fact because some foreigners that I've been speaking to, almost all of them, they said if they arrive to Sheremetyevo airport, yes, you will be questioned if you're from the Western country, the UK or US. Most probably they will take you and put you to the room and will ask you some questions. I can't really say if it will happen to you if you're from like more friendly countries, maybe from Southeast Asia. I don't think they are doing this with every tourist who arrived to Russia. But I did a video with other vloggers from the UK, and they crossed border in Narva, and they said they haven't been questioned at all at the walking border to Russia. So normally it happens, I guess, only when you're traveling here by airplane. It might be really scary to be interrogated by Russian immigration officers, but at the same time I understand why they're doing it. It's for the safety, and in current situation you don't really want to get wrong people inside the country, because maybe there are real spies that want to come here, so you need to just double check for the security reasons, and I don't think it's a bad idea. After you pass the immigration, I think when you're inside Russia there is nothing to be scary about, because inside it's pretty normal. It's pretty safe, and if you abide by the law and you're just nice, a polite person, nothing is going to happen to you here. How sanctions affect our life at the moment? It's been a pretty long time, so I think we don't feel effect anymore. It still feels because our banking system is still disconnected from other world. But yes, we can buy a currency here in Russia, we can buy USA dollars, we can exchange money. It's just very hard to transfer Russian currency to other foreign banks because our SWIFT doesn't work. But again, there are ways to avoid it, and people created services that you can, even online, can apply for a bank card in a friendly country, so you don't need to even travel there. And it's very popular to open another country bank. So it works this way, that you transfer Russian currency to the friendly bank, and then from your account in a friendly bank you can do transactions to any country in the world. But if you're a foreigner and you will be traveling to Russia, it will be a hard time for you, because your foreign bank wouldn't work here inside Russia, and you won't be able to get a Russian bank card very fast. So the only way you can survive here is by using cash money. Same story with Russian people who want to travel outside. Our Russian bank cards would not work outside, so only way is for us to exchange Russian currency to dollars and then go traveling and spend cash. Or they maybe have a foreign bank card that would work everywhere. I just walked to the other side from Museum Park, going to the very crazy area with sick penthouses, just 10 minutes from Kremlin. So the real effect that we feel every day from ongoing special military operation, is how they call it, is that our maps and GPS doesn't work anymore in Russia, in Moscow specifically. I think every big city now has this system where they interrupt drones flying to Russia. So every phone, every device has messed up location. It works everywhere. Basically, your devices, like your laptop, your headphones, any device, will be located somewhere else, not in the real location. Because drone danger still exists. We have some cases when drones hit buildings and it kills people. It's very real. Moscow feels pretty normal because it's very well protected, but in the neighboring cities such as Belgorod, of course, it's more dangerous. So if you want to be safe, you can visit cities such as St. Petersburg and Moscow. You will be fine, but just don't go to the bordering cities with Ukraine. It's very, very annoying that maps doesn't work anymore. Maybe somewhere in the far east of Russia or far north, maybe they have a normal signal. But as of Moscow, have a trouble to go streets when you don't know the location. You want to order a taxi, you cannot understand where you are, and it's impossible to navigate because Moscow is like 20 million town, like biggest city in Europe basically, and you can imagine being in a biggest city without a map. You just will be lost, but it is how it is. You need a good VPN before coming to Russia, because we're here going our own way, very similar to China. So to access some social medias, you will need a VPN. And the most popular messengers in Russia currently at the moment is Telegram, created by Pavel Durov, Russian man. He's very famous. And we like to use WhatsApp here, but currently at the moment they blocked calls in Telegram and WhatsApp, and it's for real. When I tried to call my mom, I couldn't do it. But as far as I understand, if you have VPN on your phone, you still can do calls on those messengers. And our internet becoming more closed. It feels like more in China, and government tries to promote our Russian messenger called Max. But I didn't try it yet, so I cannot tell you if it's any good or bad. I need to check it out. Look guys, It's the most famous cathedral of Moscow. Very long time it has been closed for renovation, but now I can see the first facade, first part is open. And I can tell you, it looks like very high quality. It looks very new. If we will come closer, I can feel even dust on it because it just was freshly done. Amazing work. So I think after this renovation, it can withstand here another 500 years.
Осторожно, двери закрываются. Следующая станция – Фрунзенская.
Recently I saw terrifying news from the USA is that Ukrainian girl has been killed in the metro by this black man. And it's just terrifying news, and my first thought was like, I don't want to go to the USA, it's so scary. And it's very hard to imagine that something like this would happen in Russia. I mean, it can happen everywhere, right? Because every country may have some psycho people, but I think if something like this happened in Moscow metro, for example, people would react differently. I think Russian people are very cold from outside, but they are very warm inside, so they would definitely react. If someone would be harmed, they would help this person, and if they would saw a killer or a bad man with a bad behavior, they would put them down, they would stop the trains, they would call the police, they would do something to do something to help. At the same time, Russia is not a crime-free country. We still have some level of crime here, of course. For example, those people who are coming back from the front line, they now have messed up mental health, and they can commit some very bad things, some domestic violence, or even killing someone. As a local Russian person, I can feel a real big inflation for everything in the last couple of years. I feel somewhat people start to earn a little bit more money, but the prices are rising very fast. And I can see three reasons for that. Reason number one for this is our beloved sanctions. So, as you can see, our supermarkets are pretty much full and have everything, but we still use a lot of imported goods. For example, we like European-made medicine and pills, something that we don't produce in Russia. So everything imported is really double the price because some sanctions products we import through third countries. That's why we have everything. But this means double conversion of the currencies, the logistics, so it really affects the prices in the supermarkets. Reason number two, our ruble currency is not stable at all. Last year it was like 100. A few months ago it was like 78, now it's 85 again. So it goes up and down, so every price for everything, for the iPhone, for cars, for food, like the businesses cannot make a fixed price because dollar exchange rate is going up and down again. so it's never stable. That's why you cannot make a stable price. They always rising, always, they never go down. Reason number 3 of big inflation, it may be very interesting right now, is because right now government pays big money to the people who sign a contract for the military to go to the front line. You get big money first, a big payment in different regions of Russia, different prices. In Moscow it's very high, and the military has big salaries. And for example, when a person dies, their family get a very big financial support. For example, a few million rubles. It means that many people in Russia started to have big money and they started to spend it a lot. It means that for everyone, prices getting bigger and money is more cheap, because average people should save for years a few million rubles to buy an apartment, for example. But these people just get it very fast. Maybe in 1 year they get big money and they started buying apartments, they started buying cars, started spending money. So this is another reason why we get these high prices right now. I think this is all what I want to share with you today. It's very interesting. What I do, the same video in 2026. We shall see. And if you want to join my journey here in Russia, you can subscribe to my channel down below. And if you're interested to learn something more about me, Lisa the Russian, you can go and watch previous vlogs on my channel. And I appreciate your support, guys. If you want to support my journey, you can become a Patreon sponsor, or you can send me a tiny little capitalist dollars here underneath this video, because we need this. Thank you so much, guys, for being with me until the very end, and I will see you very soon in my next one. Bye bye.